Hi there, and welcome back to Hillbilly Storytime, Pentest Fails, with me, Adam Compton. I'll go ahead at the beginning this time and say it. If you enjoy these videos, please hit the like button. If you want to be updated to when new ones come out, please hit the subscribe button. And I hope you all are enjoying these. If you have any comments, suggestions, criticisms, whatever, please use the comment fields below to let me know. So, over the last week or so, I've been trying to think of new topics for new videos like these, new scenarios that have happened to me and my friends and colleagues and what have you. And one of the topics that came up in our discussions with some of my friends was that the kind of scenarios that happen when you first show up at a site and things go right from the beginning. Well, let me jump into a few of these. There was this one time, it was going to be a multi-stage engagement, go to multiple locations for the engagement. First first location, fly into, all these are flying, by the way, or travel in between. It's going to be like a day or two at each location. First one was going to be a day on site, so we fly into the location, we get there, we walk up to the gate. It was a government facility, and it was closed. The entire facility wasn't closed, just the office we were there to see was closed. In observance of some holiday, something that was going on, that office was closed. No one thought to tell us this when we sent out the scoping, we sent out the schedule and said, look, this is the set schedule, we're wanting to go here on this date, and so forth. Well, we get there and it's closed. And we tried calling the customer, point of contact, all that, no response. We were slated to be there for one day. So that evening, actually, we were supposed to be on a flight to our next location. So we did everything in our power to contact the point of contact, everybody like that, no response. Went back to our project manager, let them know exactly what was going on. They said they would try to deal with it and for us to move on to our second location. So that evening, we got on our plane, we flew off to the next location. We're supposed to be there for 2 days. So we get there, we land, we go, it's another government facility. As we're trying to get there, well, first of all, the flight there was really rough, a lot of storms in the area and what have you. Well, that comes into play when we get there. We spend the night, we get there, and it's closed. This time not for a holiday or whatever the observance is, but because there's no power. Storms took out all the power. Well, that's fine, but we tried calling them again. No one's answering, no contact. Maybe their mail server's down, don't know. So the next day, power's back on. Our second day that we're supposed to be there, which we weren't there the first day, we go up and there's no one there. Still not sure what's going on. We wait around, we call the point of contact, email them, message them, call our project manager. Finally, we get in touch with someone. They're like, oh, that's this week? I thought you were coming out next week. Like, we were on a phone call with you last week talking about being here this week. And they're like, oh, well, we don't remember that. So, well, long story short, we ended up trying to go to 3 different locations over that course of that week. Ended up only actually making it on site to actually do work at one of the 3 because of storms, because of power outages, they're not knowing we're coming, and holidays, or whatever this observance was. It's a long time ago, I don't remember now. So yeah, even if you do your best trying to talk to the customer about these things, where it's like, okay, we're going to be there on Monday to do this. Sometimes it just slips our mind that they're not going to be open on that day. And it's even worse when you're having to travel across the country to be there for that. Yeah, so that was one issue there. Another one, which has happened to both a very small amount to myself, but to several of my colleagues I've worked with, and at one point with another contracting group I was working tandem with at one time. Well, the scenario is that when you're traveling long distances and what have you, a lot of people pack their luggage, of course. They put it in their luggage in suitcases and they check it on the plane, and you get it when you get to your destination. Well, what happens if that doesn't make it to your destination? Well, I tend to always try to pack, now I do at least 1 or 2 sets of clothes in my backpack that I'm carrying with me just in case my luggage doesn't make it on time. And that's because There's not much worse than you landing at your destination, can't find your luggage got sent to the wrong location, got lost, whatever it is, and you have to be at the customer at 8 a.m. in the morning in at least business attire, business casual, something like that. If you're like me, I don't know. I like to travel comfortably, so I wear sandals or tennis shoes, t-shirts, stuff like that when I'm traveling. Not the kind of stuff you'd want to wear into a customer site when you're doing your engagement. So, yeah. Probably the most amusing of these was, like I said, I was traveling. There was at the time I was a subcontractor for a person who actually had the contract for the engagement, and this was another government engagement years ago. And we're flying off into the middle of the Northwest up there to a government facility, and the facility was actually in the middle of the state, more or less, and the two closest airports were like equal distance away on opposite sides of the state. Well, myself and a couple of the guys with me on the subcontract, we flew in at one location, got out of our luggage, we show up, make it to our hotel at the location there. Well, the people that we were subcontracted under, the governance board or whoever for that government agency, they flew into the other location. And we don't know anything about this. We show up that Monday morning. We're in our polo shirts or khakis, ties, whatever the case was, dressed up as appropriate. Look over at our colleagues that are the people from the other group there, and they're in sweatpants and t-shirts. I'm like, okay, you're probably the ones who should be dressed up more because you're actually part of the governance body doing this. But what happened here? They're like, oh yeah, we flew into so-and-so and our luggage didn't make it. I'm like, well, what time did you get in? Oh, we got in yesterday about noon. I'm like, no, you could have went to a store and got some clothes in that time. They're like, yeah, I didn't feel like it. Okay. Here's a difference between myself and these individuals. I don't think I would have showed up in those kind of clothing. I would have found something that was open that night, especially if I arrived at noon. You could have found something. Go to a box store or go to your standard department store, whatever, and you could have found something that was suitable for the day at least. Might not be nice, it might not be what you want, but it would be something that would be suitable. Well, that's where it starts at. Well, then we actually go in and we make it in there. We're supposed to have this big meeting that morning and what have you. And like I said, we are the subcontractors for this government group or this other group that are now wearing sweatpants and a t-shirt. But so we get in there, they sign us all in, we go into where the meeting's supposed to be, and there's no one there. We get on the phone call bridge for the people who are calling in. No one's on there. Come to find out that the people we were there with were supposed to set up the meeting. They forgot to set up the meeting. They forgot to tell them that we were coming. So we did everything we could on our part to make sure everything was straightened out. We had it all set up. We were good. The people we were subcontracted under dropped the ball. They didn't know what was going on, or maybe it just slipped their mind. They got busy. I don't know, but they didn't hold up their part. So we get there. No one knows we're coming. No one expected us. No one knew there was a meeting. And it took us better part of half that day, 3/4 of that day to get stuff straightened out. But we did end up doing the work for the week. But it's just those kind of odd little things that will always pop up. You can practice your penetration testing, your post-exploitation, your Windows exploits, your PowerShell, your whatever you want. You can get really good at all these different techniques and tools and attacks, phishing, physical assessments, whatever. And that's a major part of our job is to do that kind of stuff. But the other part is to make sure you can actually do that job. Make those phone calls, double check everything. Try to alleviate as many possible areas of contention or issue as you can before you start the engagement. And even then, things are going to pop up that you're not going to expect, such as storms or random holidays that a location decides to celebrate that no one else knows about, or just random things like that. So, but yeah, well, thank you again for joining me. And as always, have a great day.